I used to find it hard to stick to a 2 times per month YouTube uploading schedule, but for the last 19 days, I've made a high quality video every single day that has brought in views, leads, and sales into my business. My views have doubled, my leads have doubled, and on average I've made $955 per day this month so far. The crazy thing is I haven't been working more hours. That's kind of what's blowing my mind, and it's what I want to share with you in this video, which are the 3 productivity lessons that I wish I'd known sooner so I could have been this consistent at uploading to YouTube for a long time already. The first lesson is this: your videos don't take a long time because they're difficult. They become difficult because you give them a long time to make. On average, every day this month, I've been giving myself around 3 hours per video, and that includes preparation, filming, editing, and uploading, and the thumbnail and stuff. Before, I would give myself 2 weeks. And I don't mean 2 weeks of full-time work, but I do mean 2 weeks of a couple of hours every day and trying to plan it, make it better, decide where I'm going to shoot it, decide when I'm going to shoot it, and all these little decisions that start stacking up. As soon as I reduced it to 2 to 3 hours a day, it forced me to review what was the highest amount of leverage I could stack in to this time possible. Meaning, what are the key tasks that actually move the needle, and what can I just throw out the window and forget about? And it turns out that I could make my production process way simpler. And just by having this 2 to 3 hour deadline, everything started to become more streamlined. And the crazy thing is, most of my videos have been getting more or less the same views as the videos that used to take me 2 weeks to make. And it's not just me who's experienced this phenomenon. One of my favorite clients who I've worked with, who's got the best results, has been somebody who uploaded every single week whilst they had a full-time job. And I said, what's your secret? And he said, well, I just spend 2 to 3 hours making the video every week and then I upload it. And what he meant by that was, okay, he has a certain time window to do this, and he's gonna do it within that time window, whether it's good or not. What happened is his videos started out okay, and then through working together and also him just improving, his videos got better. But they didn't get better because he started giving them more time. They got better because he got better at executing tasks within that 2 or 3 hour window. He got better at speaking to camera. He got better at planning better videos. He got better at ideation. It doesn't mean he spent longer on all these things, he just got better at them. And anyone who's even dipped their toes into the productivity space knows that I'm talking about Parkinson's law, where tasks will just expand to the time that you give them. The interesting thing with this law, especially with what I've observed in my own production process, is that you can get almost everything done within this, and all of this is just stress, tension, and unnecessary thinking. So by giving yourself less time to actually make a video, you just focus on the stuff that actually moves the needle. Your videos don't take a long time because they're difficult, they become difficult because you give them a long time to make. And by the way, if you want a free video planning template that I've been using to plan all of these videos called the anti-script template, that is free in the description below. Lesson number 2 is the number 1 thing I would look out for if I was trying to predict if somebody new is actually going to be successful on YouTube or not. This really is the difference. Think about launching rockets. When we launch a rocket into the sky as a human species, apparently, don't quote me on this, it's something like 95% of the fuel is used when they launch the rocket, and then it takes like 5% of the fuel to just orbit around the Earth or to propel itself once it's in space. This is the same when you're making YouTube videos as getting back into YouTube after 2 weeks off, or even 1 week off, or a month off, versus, oh, I'm just in the process, I just made a video yesterday, I'm making another video today. When you're immersed in a YouTube workflow and you are just focusing on YouTube, it's like you're orbiting around the Earth. You really don't need much fuel because it's all you're doing. It's all you're thinking about. You are just in the flow. Whereas if you take a lot of time off, it takes so much energy to get yourself back into it. Speaking to a camera starts feeling again like this slightly alien thing that feels a bit weird. Planning out YouTube videos becomes this head scratch because you're not used to ideating anymore. Even editing might start to feel a bit more foreign because you're kind of trying to remember the keyboard shortcuts. This is about becoming aware of the universal principle of momentum and then using that to your advantage. When you have momentum, hard work starts feeling normal. But when you stop, normal work starts feeling hard. So if you want to up your YouTube output, it might actually be easier for you to upload 3 times a week rather than once a week. I know this sounds pretty crazy, but you can't knock it until you try it. I would have said the same thing until I'm on day 19 of this 30-day YouTube uploading challenge, where I'm actually finding this easier than when I was uploading twice a month. So if you can, push through the launch, but once you have launched and you're in the momentum, try not to lose that momentum at all costs. Take it seriously. Don't think that, okay, cool, nice, I'm in a flow, I made a couple of videos, now I'm going to take a couple of weeks off, because then you've just lost all that momentum again and you're going to have to launch again. Once you're in that flow, YouTube is just on easy mode. It does not take too much effort to continue making videos. The third lesson I've learned is something called decision tax, and this is the difference between spending all day procrastinating and spending all day actually doing really important, meaningful, needle-moving work. Think of all of your YouTube-related tasks as being inside this circle of creative work, right? This is where your creative work happens. Outside of that creative work is all of the other stuff that you have going on in your life. But what happens is most people trying to make YouTube work for them spend too much of their work, their best thinking, in the life category and not enough in the actual creative work category. And the best illustration of this is when you are deciding and thinking about, should I make this video today or not? That is a decision that requires willpower to decide, and that willpower is draining your energy. Science has confirmed that decision making, deciding to do something, is a huge energy drainer because it requires willpower. So as soon as you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, maybe I'll shoot that video today, and then throughout your day you're thinking, yeah, I'm feeling a bit off, or I might shoot it, or I might not, you are draining your energy. And because our minds are extremely smart at procrastinating, your best thinking will actually just be trying to outsmart your own brain on whether you should do this or not. But when there is no decision on whether you're making a video or not, because it's already been decided by some public accountability that you've made or a commitment that you've made to yourself, there is no more negotiation with yourself, there's no more decisions to be made, and the only questions start to be, okay, where should I shoot this video? What's this video going to be about? How am I going to make this video? Those are questions and thinking that happens within that creative sphere. So stop using your best thinking to try and escape the work and start using your best thinking inside the work. That's been one of the biggest sleeper side effects of this entire challenge for me, is that every single day there is no more decision on if I should make a YouTube video or not. It's already been decided for me, and the only thing I have to do is just think about, okay, cool, how do I make that happen? Let's go. It wasn't until I did this challenge that I realized how much of my thinking was spent on if and when I'm going to make a video. Overall, you don't become consistent by trying harder to make each video. You become consistent by removing the time, energy, and decisions surrounding each video. As I said, that free anti-script planning template is in the description below. And if you do not like editing your videos, you just hate the editing process, then watch this video next to show you why that might actually be your unfair advantage on YouTube.